Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are. Yesterday was a bit, I said we had a bit of resistance, but the older CPI data certainly fired off that. And I think I said, it might be the catalyst, but both the Bitcoin price and the equities were both at a level where I felt it was time to leave. So we've had basically, so what our news does in this situation is it accelerates something that was going to happen. So it was going to have a retracement, and it's now had it all in one go. And so really, actually, I'm bullish again. So having been bullish all the way up on this one, and having said probably due to a correction, I think this is an outsized correction, and I'm bullish again. The reasoning is reasonably simple. Most of the bullishness was coming from increased good news out of Ukraine, and at the moment I don't really think that's stopping. And so you can see how well it's tied to the equity markets right now, and equity markets are where it's at, and the confidence in Bitcoin came from equity markets, and so when that collapsed, then Bitcoin collapsed. If we look at DXY, we'll see the opposite. So you had as the good news came out of Ukraine, down it came. It hadn't actually really reached its support level, so foreign exchange, didn't quite get hit nearly as hard as the rest of the market. I take it you can all hear me. You're right about the correction, says Kim Nguyen. Yeah, well, I was, wasn't I? K-Man Fergus says, hi Paul, your thoughts on New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Bottom is elusive. Yes, it is. And the thing is with trying to catch bottoms is that you if you try and catch them and anticipate them, you get hurt. So if we look on a 3-day, it's getting quite hard to sort out whether this is going to be a 4, because this is probably the one here, so we're below it. Now this doesn't mean that we don't get a reaction. Now it could be that all things like Aussie dollar, which is one of the big ones, it hasn't got that much further to go before it breaks its 1 as well. And so really you've got to though its 1 is in potentially a number of different places and it's harder to pick out. It did have a retracement here. I prefer this as the 1, but there are other areas which could be the 1. There's there. That's possible. But really I think this is the better of the two. And that is certainly where our software, the advanced get software we look at, comes into it. So you are getting areas where it's becoming questionable whether or not you'd still regard this as a decent Elliott wave, and this is caused by the Ukraine war mainly, and commodity prices ballooning as a result of it, and recession fears and so forth. And so what you can say is that you don't want to be selling stuff here, but at the same time hold on to your ammunition. Certainly New Zealand dollar is not one I'd prefer at the moment, though it does take its cue from the Aussie. So if the Aussie does get a reaction, then I'm interested in New Zealand for the same reasons. But the thing is, I'd rather stick with the one that's behaving than one that may not be. Okay, so everyone here was hoping that this point I've already circled here was like the 4, this was the 1 coming back for a 2, but no, it's gone lower. And we haven't damaged our accounts by trading this, and I suggest you don't either. Okay, so that's that. Nijazi M, is the Wyckoff accumulation still valid on BTC? Well, if you look at BTC on a wider thing, you are expecting an accumulative pattern. What is this, 3 days? It's going to 1 day. So you are expecting, in fact, I quite like 8 hours. Don't ask me why, it's just something I've got used to using, and I think it kind of works. So you've got an area here which is where we are looking for accumulation. Now we're looking for an accumulation simply because just change the border to white as well. So we're looking for an accumulation around there because of the price, because in general the price action suggests that down here is a good level to buy. We're looking for accumulation, and the jury is out. We cannot tell which one this is. Can't tell yet. Some people would have written something like this, seen this as a breakout, and then the fall back in is bearish. But don't forget, this is like a monthly accumulation, can go on for literally 6 months if it wants to, if it is an accumulation. And if we drop out of here, then you've got to say to yourself, okay, this is not good. But at the same time, because I'm in cash and I'm not going to get stopped out, I'd probably still stay long. I don't think I'd sell. I believe in Bitcoin as a thing. I believe in crypto as a thing, and Bitcoin is the big boy of them. And this is the good level where the market is trying to scare you out of holding it. So is the Wyckoff still valid? Well, it's not invalid. I can't see one way or the other in here, whether or not. Let's go back to the daily. Whether or not to include this. I mean, I do have some Wyckoff things in here somewhere. Is this it here? Yeah, here. So at the moment, these are obviously too early, and they all need to be moved. You have a sign of strength is really now here. This is if it is accumulative, which I believe it will be in the end. But you have to sort of stare at things like this. And the Wyckoff stuff has been in the past pretty nice to us. This area here was good. There's your spring, there's your breakout, there's your return, back up across the creek, and then away. But it did get another touch later, so things are not straightforward. Here, this looks less of a clear picture. For a start, these bounces are fast and they're very, very strong. That's very, very strong break up to the top from that down there. These ones, less so. Volumes are similar though. I mean, if you compare the volumes down at the bottom, this is quite low volume in here. High volume suddenly on the rally. And these volumes here are higher. But they will be higher because people have got the same amount of money, and so therefore the number of Bitcoins they purchase will go up because it's cheaper. You have to bear that in mind. So what do I think? Yeah, I'm still bullish. You get shakeouts. It's actually hit this level here. You can actually see the level because there is the level, and it's bounced off it. It could go lower. I'm just not going to scare me out, put it that way. Will we get a spring, something like this? Who knows? I can't tell. It's still possible though. You can't say it's not. Ninjazi M says, thanks Paul. Are there any more? Any more questions? Let's head back to S&P. Don't forget, I think this is running the market at the moment. This is the thing that's doing it. So if we go into, say, a 4 hourly, so here you got your CPI announcement, boom, down to here, but all it's done is find the previous level. And there's a fair amount of buying going on here, and as a result it's holding its price. If you look on a daily, so this drop here was actually pretty normal volume. In fact, it was lower than these rallies. Interesting. So even though you would have expected that to be a huge volume on such a big drop, it's actually lower than previous days. This big volume here with not very much prime movement talks about accumulation to me. If we get another one where it doesn't really move and we get a big volume, I'd be more convinced, I'd be more bullish than I already am, and I am quite already. Okay, so what was that? That's S&P. Let's see if we got the volumes in Bitcoin are similar or not. So yesterday Bitcoin did actually have, let's just get rid of this annotation, did actually have a high volume day, but still not as high as that one. And again, I would be waiting to the end of today and seeing if this is a small candle with high volume, because that means the powers that be are in there getting some of it for themselves. It's nice and cheap for them, and they've got a lot of panic going on in the market and they want to see it. So if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, like, and share what I'm doing with other people. I did an idea yesterday which has gone down really well. Some of you would have seen it. This one here. It's about how the news serves to confuse. And what I mean by that, and if I'm right about the market, I will be right, is that everyone will now be, oh blimey, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down. But actually, I wouldn't be in the least surprised to see this all retraced in the next few days, which means that the news had no real effect on the level of buying. The level of buying was good up till then for reasons, and if those reasons remain, then I'd expect it to creep back up. And so in a few days, it would have completely negated this big drop. But yeah, wait, see what kind of a day we get. If we get a nothing day with high volume, I think that's interesting. Right, there aren't any more questions, so I'm going to call it, and I will see you tomorrow. It's been great talking to you. Please do remember to, like, subscribe, and share. Tell other people that there is some sensible TA out here. Till the next time.